It's Saturday, October 20th, and after months of preparation, we are about to embark on the toughest, most ambitious league campaign so far. More than 150 riders have signed up to take on the 20 gruelling stages over the next 5 months. The bottles are filled, bikes are cleaned, and spandex adorned. I pay a quick visit to hair and makeup before the cameras start rolling. Just time for one last systems check, and then
3, 2, 1. The WKG Racing League is go. Best of luck, everybody. Oh my God, I don't want a really fast start. 205 people. Unbelievable.
As has become the norm in WKG races, most left the gate as though they were sprinting for the finishing line, and the race soon split up into some very powerful groups. I found myself in very familiar company. Keeping an eye on the racer focus, it looked like there was a serious battle going on in the B category.
Hey, just waiting for these guys to light it up as well. Nick Taylor, Hans Summerson, there we go, Nick's gone. Hans has got more power. It's coming from behind. Nick Taylor responds. Don't know which way this is going to go. Hans has still got it, I think. Oh man, that's Hans by a hair.
Back down in 119th place was where the real race was happening. It was myself, D Hunter, K Frampton and R Visser, although it looked like Mr Visser wasn't interested in taking this to a sprint.
Oh, looks like Rink's trying to have a bit of a dig on the climb. Maybe just to try and latch onto the guys ahead. I've definitely got twinges of cramp coming in.
So, with Rink having selfishly pulled away from us, it was left to myself, Darren Hunter and M Kirsten to fight it all the way to the line for pride as much as points.
Flamme Rouge, last K. Oh man, Kirsten's got an aero. Oh, I'm terrible at timing these. Just don't know when to go, and I've got Darren in my wheel. Come on, let's get Frampton. No, I'm not getting Frampton. Got Darren though. Woo! Yeah!
So, small victory for me, having beaten Hunter and Kirsten to the line in the sprint, but a victory nonetheless. However, the real winners were way ahead. Our Category A winner, Inga Backman. Category B was won by Geir Riddervold. Category C by Paul Crocombe. And Category D by Martin Bjorkvik. Round 1, Watopia Hilly reverse, was done. On to the next one. Round 2 saw us head to the UCI World Championships course in Richmond, Virginia, one of my favourite race courses on Zwift, and we get to do 2 laps. This week's racer focus in the top corner was Nick Taylor from the Bees.
See you at the finish.
As always, the race exploded from the gate. The road was flat, the pace was extremely high, and I had to give everything I had to hang in with the bunch. The last thing I wanted was a hill.
The hills are coming. I'm already blowing. Heart rate's been high from the start. As always, I think it's going to really split up when we get to this first climb, to be honest. Nick Taylor, I can see he's already on it. He's got Akimart, Simon Roman, Grasshopper, Cassie Bowdy all around him, Geir Riddervold. All around, going up the cobble climb.
As we hit the first of the cobble climbs, unsurprisingly, I was dropped by most of my main competitors. Although thankfully, I did manage to shake a few from my tail too. Now I'm just hoping that the descent over the top is enough for me to recharge my batteries to stay in the race.
It's spread out so much. I'm now 45 seconds off the bunch I was with.
Now nestled in 76th position, it's time for me to recompose myself and start working with the small group around me. Meanwhile, up ahead, our racer focus Nick Taylor is about to complete his first lap.
Just looking at Nick, he's in 20th position at the moment. Trying to work out where he is in relation to the bunch that was around him. I think he's actually pulled off from most of the Bs. He's up there with a group of As.
Going into our second lap, the collaborative efforts of our little bunch didn't last very long, as Darren Hunter, taking a leaf from Rink Visser's book, decided to break for the group ahead.
Darren's managed to link onto that bunch ahead. That was a good job. But you probably need them to be going a bit faster than they are if you want to stretch that gap.
Sure enough, we managed to close the gap back to Darren's group before we hit the climbs, but this had taken my focus away from what was going on at the front of the race.
I just missed Nick Taylor's finish. Oh my God. I think I have. That's ridiculous. Sorry man. Oh no, Darren's hip problems, I think. Not happy, judging by that message, which loosely translates to Marcus, you or something like that.
Amazingly, as we came through the final climbs, I found myself nestled in a bunch of really strong riders. P. Santa Maria, P. Elliot Kowalczyk, S. Pullman Detail, D. Kaz and R. Worth. Incredibly, it looked like I might just hang on to this all the way to the finish.
Ah, crap. Come on, 250 metres. I can't get Sonia. I can't push harder than this, I'm cramping up. Let's just keep it going to the line. Oh my goodness me. Oh, I don't know how I didn't properly lock up then.
So round 2 was in the bag and we had astonishing victories for M. Golev in category A, B. Drader in category B, P. Crocombe category C and M. Bjorkvik in category D. We also saw the development of some interesting battles up and down the league which looked set to rage on for the entire series. Round 3 was the first of our individual time trials and our first visit to New York City. Having seen the times of many of my competitors, I was hopeful this knowledge would help me to a good result.
And we're off.
However, I was less than 3 kilometres into the race before making the mistake that would prove to be very costly.
Sorry about the bad language, but that one hurt. And I have a horrible feeling I took a wrong turn.
I did.
As I was changing camera angle, I think I might have been doing it just as I came to a junction.
I was.
And selected the wrong turn, accidentally. Right, I've decided I'm just going to go straight back out and do it again. Here we go.
So, with a full race distance already in my legs, I quickly recharged with Go Juice, jumped back on and took to the course for one more try. My expectations were certainly lower this time and the likelihood was always going to be the solitary point for taking part and nothing more. I did, however, use the encouragement that I could see coming in from my teammates and competitors. I gritted my teeth, I dug deep, threw my balls to the wall and charged for the finish line. As it turns out, it wasn't my legs that took the most punishment.
Oh my god. This is a new one on me. I'm getting cramp in my face from doing my stupid pain face for 12 kilometres. Oh. My face hurts almost as much as my legs. I'm going to have to get a new, more relaxed pain face.
So round 3 didn't give me the large haul of points I was hoping for, but it did help to launch my new nickname of Cramp Face. So that's something to be very proud of. At the sharp end of the race we have P Sharp winning category A, B Drader with category B, M Seafried category C and T Hickey category D. The next race was the big one. Round 4 was the 111, the jewel in the crown of the WKG Racing League. Our racers tackle 111 kilometres around the original Watopia Hilly route. This particular edition took on special meaning as it fell on the 11th of November, Remembrance Day. In honour of the occasion, I'd asked riders to keep a controlled pace and ride the first minute in silence. Sadly, this proved to be the worst mistake I made in the entire season. A handful of riders from outside of the league decided to ignore these instructions and race from the go. This caused upset amongst the rest of the racers and threw a cloud over what was a really special event. Despite this, most of us were just happy that we were here racing at all, as just moments earlier the event wasn't even listed on the Zwift module, and if it wasn't for the intervention from Charlie Eisendorf and Eric Min, it looked like the 111 would have to be postponed. So with the neutralised rollout complete, Chris Davis selected on Racer Focus, it was time to settle in for this lung-busting marathon of a race.
Okay, quick C Davis update. He's nestled into a bunch with Peter Wilson, E. Sullivan, PJ Daly, Catherine Denton, Keith Denton, Niall Simpson, I think that name is just above, Jane Coates, Paul Trilk, and they're just off Martinison and Sonia Pullman Detail. I'm here currently working with a bunch of Noel McGrath, Future Co, Linda Kellum, C. Rev Welter, and Andres Detail just off the back by a couple of seconds.
With such a strong group of riders around me, I was able to settle into a comfortable pace that I was confident would see me all the way to the finish. Other riders, however, were already dropping off, and some through no fault of their own.
Dennis Missionoff has had a problem. I couldn't see all of the message, it got covered up with other messages. But I think he's been dumped out, and he's going to jump back in and try and catch. Oh, man, that is hard going on a race like this. You don't want to exert yourself trying to get back onto a bunch this early on. I feel really sorry for you, dude. I'd like to say we'll slow down and wait for you, but you know that's not going to happen.
Having left the stricken Dennis Missionoff at the side of the road, we continued to grind on. I even had time to check some of my Facebook messages, in particular one from Martin Backer, literally pleading to be the racer focus. I duly obliged.
Just check back on Martin Backer while we're here. It's got Jamie Woodward, C. Chang, Rudy Pausma, A. Olsen still there, Hervoinen, Drader, Storley's there. Good to see you, man. M. Hoffman. So still nice little bunch wrapped around Martin Backer there up in the A's. Currently sitting in 12th position. Good job, fella.
Still inside the first quarter of the race, I was feeling pretty comfortable. However, other riders around me were already starting to make excuses.
Oh man, Noel's dropped off this bunch from opening a banana. Of all the reasons to bugger up your race, banana peeling is not one that even occurred to me.
35k in now, and my confidence is starting to show first signs of waning, despite our group on the verge of employing a very useful pair of legs.
We look like we're about to join forces with the mighty Velo Viking, Snorefeli, which will be a fantastic addition to this group, especially when I start to cramp up. That's not going to happen today. Positive mind. No cramp today.
As we hit the climbs again, and I apply the power, it becomes clear that not all is well with my rear end.
My bike's come loose. When I went to get out the pedals, out of the saddle, it just leant a little bit. I think the quick release has come undone. I'm going to have to try and get into a nice draft on this descent, jump off and tighten up the quick release. I'm going to have to be sharp about this. Go. Woo! Feels better.
With the rolling repairs done and Martin Backer having dominated racer focus for far too long, I decided to switch the camera to another of my favourite WKGers, Kevin Wilshire.
Kevin is riding in honour of his granddad today. He was telling a brilliant story about how his granddad had managed to roll over Hitler's toe in a tank. So that alone is worthy of Kevin getting a bit of racer focus for the moment.
Speaking of tanks, mine was starting to feel pretty empty, and as we approached the 75km mark, we hit another climb, and I was really starting to feel the pain, struggling to keep my power over 2 watts per kilogram. Meanwhile, at the front...
Alright, here we go. We are watching our race leader come up to the finish line, and it looks like it's about 1 kilometre short, distance-wise. So I'm not quite sure how that happened, but nonetheless, C. Bell, congratulations, over the line. We've got a bit of what looks like a sprint to the line here, with Brian Roden being chased down by M. Golev. Can Brian hold on to this? He's got a 3-second lead at the moment. Golev is coming fast. Whoa, I tell you what, I think Golev is going to get this on the line. Does he? I can't see where the line is. Yes, Golev taking that position. Good job, man. Right, we've got a bit of a battle now. Jay Crocombe and Jake Pocock, 110 kilometres into it, sitting on each other's wheels, coming up to the line. This is what it's all about. Is that someone else that's joined them, or is that... Well, hang on, we got Dean Millam joined in here as well. Oh, this is hard to keep track of. Jay Crocombe's taken to the front, they've all got arrows. Great job, man. Jamie Crocombe, I think it's Jamie, well, it's Jay Crocombe anyway. Time to perfection. It looks like Dean Millam's going to take it next. Well done, Jay Crocombe, well done, Dean Millam, just grabbed it. Just ahead of Jim Pocock, I think it was. Or did I mess it up? Did Emmanuel get there? Oh, Emmanuel Pearson might have got there. Here we go, Keith hitting the line. Great job, man, Mr. Consistent, just solid pace all the way through that. Excellent stuff, and here we go, the sprint for the line. Nick Taylor's got it ahead of Paul Trilk, I think. I think Nick's gonna hold it, is he? I think just. Great stuff, guys. I think Nick just held on to that, and then Catherine over next. Yeah, full cramp. Full cramp. Back of both legs. Oh, that was really sudden. I know this is what you all wanted to see, so I'm glad I haven't disappointed. Damn it, I was so close to 100 kilometres without getting cramp. Oh, shit. It'll ease off, it'll ease. Oh. I've properly blown. Well done, G Jackson. Sorry for the distraction while you were coming over the line. Great effort, my man. Linda Kellum, 300 metres to the line. Look at this, 5 watts per kilogram. There we go, that little kick's probably pushed her average over the top. It's stunning stuff, Linda. Well done. The pain. It's the last of my go-dos. This is not going to happen. It's going to fully go in a minute. You can feel it. Oh, thank you, Paul. What a lovely message. That's very kind of you. I don't feel particularly inspiring at the moment. But what I lack in power, technique, strength, fitness, and actual ability, I do try and make up for in determination. So obviously I will not stop, and I will try and keep Noel and Martin at bay. I could actually cry, this is hurting so much. I've got a feeling both these guys are pretty bloody good sprinters as well. Oh, don't go now, Noel, Christ. Oh. I'm gonna lose all of them. No, sorry guys, I'm dying. I'm dying. Oh, well done, Noel. Well done, Martin. Just pure pain. Done.
So another year and another 111 race completed, and despite inflicting more pain on myself than in any other Zwift event, the 111 provides some of the most fantastic memories. Hours of riding with amazing people, and the sense of achievement from just finishing is always worth the pain. Back at the business end, it was business as usual for P Sharp taking the win in category A, F Storley winning category B, victory for P Crocombe in category C, and L Kellum taking the win in category D. Congratulations on some very hard earned points. Following the punishment of the 111, you'd be forgiven for thinking we'd take it a bit easier in round 5. But that's not how we do things in WKG. Nope, for this round, we're going up Alpe Brian.
And we are off. Good luck, everybody.
Knowing what lay in store, it was a conservative, controlled rollout, as Nadia Mentz captioned the moment perfectly.
Well said, Nadia. Let the suffering begin.
As we hit the first of the climbs, I managed to grab the wheel of a new cycling hero.
Just going to bring special focus onto already my rider of the day. Team London, 12 years of age. Great to have the youngsters with us. Showing me a clean pair of heels at the moment.
The next 13k was all about staying calm, maintaining focus, and building a group that would hopefully work together as we climb the Alpe.
Watopia Island, main island done. Jungle done. One more thing. Alpe Zwift. Here we go.
But, as is so often the case, the group splintered as soon as the road pointed upwards.
There goes PJ. So often the case with PJ. But he kind of drops back a little bit, and I think I've broken him. Then he comes surging past. That's happened so many times. And I've got Paul McLaren now coming past me, and Jay Suarez. I'm doing my usual thing of sort of slipping back down the mountain a little bit.
While I was still fannying around at the bottom half of the mountain, I took the opportunity to have a sneaky peek at the guys near the top.
Okay, so at the front we have our very own Mr. Paul Sharp, winner of the 111, absolutely killing it on the TAT race too. Wow, in actual fact, I've caught him just in time because he's on the final stretch, coming up to the finish. Unbelievable. 4.5 watts per kilogram, rolling under the banner. Great ride, man.
So with Paul having already finished the race and probably enjoying a bubble bath, I was in need of a new pair of legs. Unfortunately, the pair of legs that arrived was not what I had in mind.
They've been chipping away, and now they're holding mid threes. Just 10 seconds behind me. S leg and D leg. I'm blowing out my arse. This is as much as I've got. Coming up to the final hairpin.
Before long, I found myself in between the legs, gasping for breath.
There goes S leg. 3.5 watts per kilogram. I'm trying to dig. Stay with him. He's just accelerated away even further. I'm trying to match D leg watt for watt if I can. Make sure I get through this last 300 ahead.
To make sure the other leg couldn't close with me still in the middle, I got my head down and finished the job.
Our race is horrible. Oh, if it wasn't for points, I'd have chucked that one in. Done. Oh, well done, everyone.
And so, after that torturous climb, we have an almost identical winners podium as the previous round, with P Sharp, F Storley and L Kellum all winning their respective categories. The only difference, G Anderson winning the category C. This round also saw the first promotions, with a number of racers collecting their third strikes for exceeding category limits. Round 6 was a summit finish at the top of the Volcano, but my problem started before even turning a wheel.
Alright guys, that was an absolute disaster. My OBS stopped recording just as we were about to start the race, so had to switch over to QuickTime screen recording. As a result, you're not getting any camera of me. I think I've dropped quite a way off the guys I was supposed to be with, but I am hanging in this group here with Edstrom, Kuhn, Williams, Lafontaine, Tutman, HY, Arblaster, Kurubiashi, I think that was, Trilk, Moon, I think's in here, Steenwell, Futureco, Lenoble. Oh, that was even more of a panicky start than I normally have. It's quite a big bunch, so apologies anyone I'm missing out. Oh man, Dwight's had a dropout. No, it's going to be bloody hard to get back on. See Dwight there now, 23 seconds off the back. Such bad luck. He's actually doing it from a fire station today. He's at work and they've allowed him to set up his pain cave in the fire station. So I think you win the award for like coolest setup for the day. Cheers Steve for the ride on. Steve Clogg, founding member I think of the Darren Hunter fan club. Love it.
So after a panicky start and a hard chase to get back into the bunch, I find myself with a select group of riders and I just need to calm myself down, bring my heart rate back and prepare for the climb ahead. What I could really do with is kindness from the Zwift power-up gods.
Give me a feather, 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 feather. What we got? Come on. Be nice. What we got? Oh, you f***ing...
My mood was about to get a whole lot worse as I spot that Darren Hunter is almost a minute ahead of me as we hit the foot of the Volcano climb.
Oh, here we go. Starting the climb. Fun, fun, fun.
So the chase was on. I used the full might of the riders around me, Jason Arblaster, Stephen Moon, Kevin Wilshire, Martin Overweg, all dragging me up towards my target, but Darren had help too, in the shape of Hal White and PJ Daly. As we closed in on the final kilometre, it looked like my efforts were in vain.
I was trying to close down on Darren. I think he's got me covered. I'm keeping an eye now on Kevin Wilshire behind me. Trying to match him watt for watt if I can. There's the finish. Oh, looks like I covered Kevin. I didn't catch Darren. That was always unlikely. But yeah, we finished some way off the top of the mountain. Oh Jesus, that was horrible.
So the race finished just short of the summit, but I think most of us were pretty glad of that. There were fantastic wins for M. Golev in Category A, B. Drader Category B, J. Crocombe in Category C, and M. Overweg in Category D. Next up, we head to Innsbruck for round 7 as the league joins the mini crit. This is undoubtedly my favourite race on Zwift, so expectations were pretty high.
And we are off. Best of luck, everyone.
It didn't take long before trouble started. Luckily, it wasn't for me.
Oh man, I think Darren's dropped. Unlucky, man.
My sympathy for Mr. Hunter was not sincere.
Got Maxim Golev on the racer focus. We've got Visser, Sandvand, Arnolderson, Pocock, McLaren, Santa Maria's in this group. I'll be missing loads, but that's as much as I can see at the moment.
As we charged into the climb, I was feeling surprisingly strong, managing to keep with the likes of Denton, Walker, McLaren, Jackson. Now I just had to stay with them on the descent and hold something back for a potential sprint finish.
No. Oh.
So I was just pipped at the line by Walker and McLaren, both taking valuable points from me. Further up ahead, there were brilliant wins for A. Jenner in Category A, H. Thomason in Category B, J. Crocombe in Category C, and M. Ward in Category D. Round 8 was an excruciating time trial up the original Watopia Epic KOM. Sadly, this is the only round we don't have video footage of, but I can tell you, I did horribly. Slightly more successful were M. Golev in Category A, F. Storley Category B, P. Trilk in Category C, and M. McGrath in Category D. We were back in New York City for round 9, but this time we were riding above the park, taking to the Sky Roads for a lap of Lady Liberty. It's another short race, so I was expecting to have to throw down the wattage bombs right from the start.
And we are off.
Sure enough, the pace was frantic right from the go as we charged towards the first climb. Sadly, it wasn't long before another rival of mine ran into a spot of bother.
Kev's had a problem. Right at the top of the climb. Belt's come off that crappy kicker of his. That's his none, I think. That's so unlucky, man. I think I was going to catch you anyway.
Managing to put my sadness over Kev's demise to one side, I managed to take a break on the descent, regain my focus, and set off chasing down my next target.
I've been pretty neck and neck with Paul Elliott Kowalczyk since the first climb, and I think we're both kind of slowing down, easing off in anticipation of a sprint here. I can't flick away, but it looks like it's going to be a really good three-way scrap as well between Keith, Oliver and Neil. Keith Denton, Oliver Higby, Neil Clamp, 44 seconds ahead of me. Keith's in the front of that at the moment. I know Oliver is very powerful. I think Keith will be aware of that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Keith go for a long one. Yes! Woo! Yes!
So I managed to take another small victory with the sprint, and it was one that I was particularly chuffed with. I can also tell you Oliver Higby did win out in his three-way battle with Keith Denton and Neil Clamp. Up at the sharp end of the race, we have a very familiar looking podium with P Sharp taking Category A, B Drader Category B, G Anderson with Category C, and M Overweg in Category D. We're back in Watopia for round 10 as we take on the Three Sisters. First we climb the original KOM, then it's up the epic KOM all the way to the radio tower, before a fast descent and finally climbing the Volcano.
And we are off. Best of luck, everyone.
As I'd hoped, given the parkour, it was a nice gentle start, with riders loosening their legs, finding a rhythm and settling into groups. It was a pace that was never going to win me the race, but it was one that should ensure I make it to the end. As we hit the foot of the epic KOM, I was joined by one of the season's most improved riders.
While I'm sitting in her wheel here, I'll just quickly congratulate Maya Aquarea on her promotion to the C category. Your improvement has been spectacular since the start of this league, so great job, my friend.
As I was busy congratulating Maya, I hadn't spotted two of my old adversaries creeping up behind me.
Okay, here comes the Williams Valadares train. Here's the con banner. Dwight did an amazing job pulling away on the last section of climb. Carlos just nipped me to the banner. Great job, man. Myself and Martin come through together. Oh, Carlos has pulled up. Fair amount to go yet, buddy. I'm afraid to say. Now we've got what Zwifters very kindly called the bonus climb. Hang a left, straight up to that frickin' tower.
As we climbed to the tower, we managed to pull back in on Dwight and even create a bit of an advantage. On the descent on the other side, however, Dwight showed his class, managed to pull back and actually stretch away again. We were going to have to wait until the final climb to try and take back that position.
We're approaching the final climb. It's been really cagey for this last 4 or 5 kilometres. None of us really exerting ourselves.
Grinding up the final climb, I eventually managed to shake Dwight from my wheel. Myself and Martin Overweg powered towards the summit. At one stage I had a little kick to see if I could lose him, but the power-up gods were shining on Martin.
Haha, you had a feather!
It looks like we're going to a sprint finish once again.
Alright, here we go. Yes! Yes! I think I got it. I think.
I did get it, just. And that sprint went down as one of my greatest moments of the season. Up at the pointy end, there were more wins for M. Golev, Cat A, B. Drader, Cat B, J. Crocombe in Cat C, and Martin Overweg in Cat D. We also saw a number of promotions as riders picked up their third stripe and moved up to the category above. So, following on from all the climbing of round 10, we were back up the mountain for round 11. But this time, we were racing down it. We all met at the radio tower, had a controlled, gentle rollout before lighting it up.
Go!
Having already ridden up the mountain, my legs and my mind were feeling tired, which may well explain my choice of music as we hit the descent.
You know, I've just noticed Jason and Keith are quite close by, and it's a fast descent. I'm not taking any chances.
Having taken precautions, I tried to tuck into the cavernous slipstream created by Jason Arblaster and Darren Hunter. Sadly, my power was no match for their considerable bulk, and they managed to stretch away. My attention now turned to the attack coming from behind from T. Dibe and Len Capel.
That front group has vanished. Man, they were fast. Darren Hunter with them. Good job, man.
Clearly inspired by the country music, Len decided it was time to dance.
Oh man, Len's got some legs. Jesus.
My two left feet were no match for Len's moves, and it wasn't long before even the featherweights were skipping past me.
Ah, Brian! No!
So our first ever downhill race proved to be a huge hit and was great fun, but it wasn't quite the effortless roll that some of us were expecting. There was another win for M. Golev in Category A, proving he's as happy going downhill as he is going up it. J. Bythway took Category B, J. Pocock Category C, and M. Bjorkvik with the win in Category D. Round 12 was another individual time trial, as we head to the capital and take on the streets of London before heading up to the Surrey Hills.
And we are off.
The tactics for this race are pretty straightforward. Try to take full advantage of the aerodynamic properties of the time trial bike and save as much energy on the flats of London before we hit the climbs. Then bury myself on Box Hill before being able to ease off again on the descent over the other side. Sadly, halfway up the hill, my race quickly began to unravel.
That was pathetic. I think I'm going to be sick. This isn't right. Got face cramp. I think I'm going to be sick. I need this downhill. It's so hot. I actually do think I'm going to be sick. I managed to avoid it on camera. I don't think I'm going to be able to today. Oh, I do not feel good. Just want to get to the end before I'm sick. Now I need to get off the bike. Oh Christ, I've got to get up this ramp. Forgot about this bit.
Being the consummate pro, I wiped my chin and got on with the job at hand.
Oh well. Sorry everyone to be on such a downer. So I was actually quite looking forward to today's race.
Oh well, another race, another disappointment, but at least I got to see my lunch again. Up at the front, it was happy days for M. Golev Category A, F. Sawley in Category B, P. Trilk in Category C, and M. Overweg in Category D. He's hoping for an easier ride in round 13. No, round 13 wasn't going to be an easy ride. We're heading back up the f***ing Alpe.
And we are off.
As we headed through the jungle and towards the foot of the Alpe, Darren Hunter made a break for it and was looking strong.
Darren's popped. Unlucky dude.
I very graciously offered some words of encouragement, all the while secretly sniggering at his massive failure. Anyway, enough about Darren Hunter. I had a new target. Just up the road was the Hoff.
Alright, 55 minutes into this race. I'll be very slowly chipping away at Keith D's lead. And it pulls back out again. I think he's saving himself, but I'll keep chasing. I'm about to make the bridge back to Keith. It's been a steady grind, but I finally got to him. Now the big question is whether I can stay with him.
Astonishingly, I didn't just stay with the Hoff, I started to drop him. It looks like I finally got my Zwift mojo back. I was flying up the Alpe, and surely a performance like this deserved a huge reward from the Zwift power-up gods.
Oh, you... That's not funny when you're going up outdoors, grinding away like this. You get XP.
Anyway, no time for crying, there was a mountain to climb, and I knew my legs were all I needed to pull off one of my best results of the season.
Fuck yes. I don't care that I only came 53rd. That feels good.
So I performed well up the Alpe and started to feel I'd found some good form to take into the following rounds. With another win, M. Golev was starting to tighten his grip on the Category A title. J. Masterman took the Category B win, M. Seafried the Category C, and M. Overweg once again in the Category D. Round 14 was a two-stage time trial, starting with 2 laps of the London Classique circuit, followed by 2.5 laps of the Jungle circuit. The combined times will determine your final position.
Okay, here we go.
As with the previous time trials, I already knew the times set by some of my competitors, so I knew exactly what to aim for. I also tried to put into practice my new pacing technique that I developed with my stunning performance up the Alpe in the previous round. So far, so good.
I can't talk.
24 hours and 1 haircut later, and with the London stage already in my back pocket, it was time to hit the dusty trails of the Jungle circuit.
Here's the half lap done. Whew. It's hot in here. Wow. Hey, it's Stuart Woodsell parked at the side of the road. Hello mate, I think he's just finished his effort. It's so hot. Oh, my fan's doing nothing.
Despite the heat, I was feeling strong and controlling my pace well. As I came under the banner again, I still felt I had the legs for one more flying lap.
Okay, 1.5 laps done. It's not a bad lap time for me. I'll have to try and do at least the same again. And then I've got to add on that first half a lap.
By this stage I was already trying to calculate my combined stage times. The numbers looked good and I was feeling pretty confident. Sadly, it turns out my mental arithmetic is almost as bad as my legs. So another single point race for me, but it was a lot more successful for Drader, Nielsen, Trilk and McGrath. Blair Drader picking up his first win since moving up to Category A. Nicholas Nielsen mounting a charge on the title for Category B, likewise Paul Trilk, and Noel McGrath picking up his second race win so far this season. On the back of 2 largely positive rounds, I went into round 15 full of confidence. It was a short, fast race on one of my favourite routes, the original Watopia Hilly, and it was likely to end in a bunch sprint. This was all playing into my hands nicely. As we hit the first climb, I managed to gap some of my main rivals. Even the Zwift power-up gods were smiling on me.
Come on, aero or draft. That'll do.
Armed with an aero power-up, things were looking good, but that wouldn't stop me reeling off the excuses.
I'm burning up. This jersey definitely warmer than my usual one. This room is definitely hotter than it needs to be.
With all the climbing done, it was just myself, Engstrom and Thomason for a 3-way sprint. Hunter, Woodsell and Williams were a long way behind, so all I had to do was focus on my strategy to beat the guys around me.
Trying to time it with these guys, but not go so early that I get caught by the bunch behind. Thomason's gone, Engstrom's upped it a bit. I'm sitting in the wheel for now. 500 to go, 400, 3. Right, let's light this up.
Wait for it.
Oh! No way! No! No! How did that happen? Oh my god! I didn't even see him coming!
Sadly, the torture didn't end there.
Oh! No way!
Reveling in his victory, Darren Hunter took it upon himself to create a video that would become one of the most popular in WKG history. I couldn't even visit the Facebook forum without seeing this over and over and over. Clearly, round 15 didn't end quite as I'd have hoped, so I found a darkened room, sat in a corner and began to contemplate the point of my very existence. Meanwhile, there was another fantastic win for M. Golev in Category A, D. Bruce taking the win in Category B, M. Seafried the Category C victory, and it was a first win in Category D for Stuart Woodsell. So, on to round 16 and a chance for revenge as we head up into the jungle on the Road to Ruins route.
And we are off. Best of luck, everyone.
My start didn't go to plan and I was already dropped by Darren and Dwight. Luckily, I found a strong group and I could start the chase back.
Right, so we pulled together a decent little gruppetto here with S3275, Y Miwa, Y Elston, R Kochi, K O'Neill, Maria Trielk, myself, Martin Overweg, C Giannini. I think there was someone just behind as well. And a bunch we want to join with 9 seconds ahead, Niall Simpson, Darren Hunter, Paul Elliott Kowalczyk, Ella Anderson.
Our group was working really well together and in no time at all we've managed to pull back and overhaul the bunch ahead. As we came out the other side of the jungle, my mood was about to get even better.
Ah yes, I've got an aero. I'll be saving that for the sprint if it comes down to it. Not making the same mistake I did last time.
With a momentary easing of the pace, I was able to reassess my race situation.
Darren's a couple of minutes behind, Dwight's over a minute ahead, so I'm definitely not catching Dwight. I'd like to think this time Darren's not catching me. I do have Jane Coates just 11 seconds ahead, going 2.5 watts per kilogram. I'm not sure how many riders she's got around her. I think there's a few. But there is potential there to try and pull Jane back in.
With revenge over Darren all but assured and Dwight well out of reach, I set about chasing down the group ahead to set up a bunch sprint.
And our little group has just grown by 4 with the addition of Jane Coates, G Bayard, G58 and S3275.
So the scene was now set. We have a large group of riders all playing cat and mouse in preparation for the sprint that was about to come.
Okay, so we're in the last kilometre. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of us in this group, including myself. I have no idea about the sprinting capabilities of any of these guys. Jane's decided to up the speed a little bit earlier, I think, by the looks of things. I do have my aero. It's all going to come down to timing. Power creeping up by everybody. 300. Some are up the power a little bit more. Aero, go. Ah! Woo! I think I just missed out. Oh man. Ah! Yeah, Elston got me. Well done.
Elston beat me to the line by 1/10 of a second, but that certainly wasn't the only photo finish in this round. Gordon Jackson took the win in Category C with an identical time to Matt Seafried. The other winners were B. Drader in Category A, HP Summerson for Category B and M. Bergeron for Category D. Round 17 was the only round I'd missed in the entire season, and as a result the footage is terrible and I remember very little about it. I do remember at the very beginning Dave Harmsworth doing 7,000 RPM to try and chase back onto the bunch. The only other thing I remember from that race is a titanic battle in the D category right near the end between Nadia Mentz and Kevin Wiltshire. Commentary was particularly hard on this because my screen recording managed to cut off all of the names from the racer list at the side, and I chose not to commentate on it live but actually try and dub the commentary on afterwards. The whole thing was a disaster from start to finish. Apologies to everybody that put up a great performance in this race. So sorry that I didn't manage to catch your performance, but as you all know by now, if I'm not there, it doesn't count anyway. Getting back to this battle in the Ds, In the final throws of the race, Nadia throws down a feather to great effect and manages to power past Kevin on this final rise. There she managed to stay right up until the banner to take a nice haul of points in the D category. So taking the victories was B. Drader in the A category, Ed Nielsen for the Bs, J. Pocock from the Cs and M. Overweg for the Ds. However, I do stand by my opinion that in my absence this race should be stricken from the records. As we head into round 18, the league titles had already been decided, but there was still plenty to fight for up and down the table. This was the final time trial of the series, and with Zwift having just released their drop shop, it was a great chance for us to show off what we'd spent all our hard-earned cash on.
I know it's not quite the start yet, but I'm going to start ramping it up, try and use this downhill to slingshot me over the start line.
A single lap of the Watopia flat loop should be the perfect testbed for my brand new shiny orange Cervelo P5 time trial bike. With this in mind, I hunkered down, started spinning up my legs and powered through. Do you know what? There's no point in me even pretending because you can see my power numbers at the side. This was an absolutely pathetic attempt. I don't even know why I finished. I was never going to get more than 1 point out of this race. Terrible.
Getting cramp.
I should also point out that no one should ever make this face when travelling this slowly. Slightly more impressive were B. Drader winning Cat A, Wilts Ryder with Cat B, P. Trilk Cat C and Dirk Gatsby in Category D. The Innsbruck Ring Mini Crit was the venue for the penultimate round of the league. I'd identified the racers that I needed to beat in order to improve my league position and I was raring to go. It was the usual fast start, and despite averaging over 100 RPM, in my highest gear I was still being spat out of the back of the pack.
Something's not right. I'm in my hardest gear. I'm spinning out. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but my RPMs were really high on the flat as I was going down a steep hill. I'm still in top gear, doing 85 RPM. I can't hold the bunch. My race is done already. For God's sake.
As I got swallowed up by more and more riders, I decided to quickly change the resistance setting on my trainer to see if I could salvage something from this race.
Oh, my legs are gone now. I'm just keeping an eye on Darren Hunter behind. He's obviously a league rival. I'm not going to be able to do much against Roush at 4 watts per kilogram, just 5 seconds behind. Here comes the climb. See Darren Hunter 36 seconds behind now. He was more than a minute behind. Had a good spell during those bends. Yeah, that feels more like the resistance. Jesus!
My trainer was now behaving itself, but the damage was already done. Thankfully I managed to stay ahead of Darren Hunter and Kevin Wiltshire over the top of the climb. Now I just had to keep it there to the finish.
I see Kevin Wiltshire now, just 7 seconds behind Darren, just 24. I've got nothing here.
Coming inside the final kilometre, and Kevin and myself are joined by Nadia Mentz, looking to mix it with us for the final sprint.
Small victory.
So it was victory once again for habitual winners M. Golev, D. Bruce and M. Overweg, with Rink Visser taking his first win in Cat C. So we reached the final round, and in what has now become a tradition, we finish with the lava laps, 11 times round the Volcano counterclockwise circuit. Sadly, Darren Hunter was unable to take part due to illness, which is a real shame because we had made an all or nothing wager for this race. In his absence, Kevin Wiltshire picked up the baton, under the same terms. My tactic was simple: stick to Kevin, let him do all the work, and then kick his ass in the sprint.
And we are off. Best of luck everybody. The last race of the league is go.
Not long into the race, the temptation got the better of me. I decided to abandon my cautious tactic and go on the attack, hoping to finish Kevin off once and for all.
I'm going to try and do a sneaky bridge to that group ahead and see if I can leave Kevin back here.
After 20 races, it looked like I actually had a plan that might work as I latched on to the faster S Park ahead of me.
That kind of worked. I managed to jump up to S Park, leaving Kevin's group with Martin and Maria 3 seconds behind, and I'm hoping S Park pull me back. Dave Crook, PJ, Paul Trilk, that group there.
Glued to Park's wheel, I managed to gap Kevin even further and bridge over to the faster group ahead.
Right, so that group has caught, and I've managed to drop Mr. Wilshire. But I've done this to him before, where he's been very steady in the early parts of a race, and then just eats away at the lead. So I now need to try and consolidate this lead without burning too many matches.
This was turning out to be a fantastic race as I reeled in another rival.
Power of our group just pulled back into PJ Daly, who I think can't complete the number of races, but still a main rival of mine, always. So that's nice to be back with him.
In addition to my own race, there are other battles of great interest going on up and down the field. In particular, the Duel of the Dentons, with Keith and Catherine separated by just 1 point. Messages filtered back through the field that Keith had stretched his lead over Catherine and was looking like taking the points.
We've now lost Rink. He was dropping back. He was saying he couldn't get above a certain power with a really high heart rate. He dropped back to try and sort that out, and it looks like he's had to concede. So, unlucky, man. Feeling little twinges of cramp. I'll keep trying to stay with him for the time being. Hopefully it settles down.
With the help of our newly crowned Category C champion, Paul Trilk, our little group continued to tear around the circuit at a fantastic rate, right up until the start of the final lap.
Okay, final lap, final chance at a power up. Please make it a good one. Come on, feather or aero? Better than nothing, but bloody hell.
Not wanting to affect the outcome of this race, Paul graciously moved to the side, obviously aware that Zwift royalty was watching.
Hey, I got a ride on from Mr. Min. Cheers, dude. Obviously been following our league with great interest. But this is now looking like a repeat of one of my most fun moments ever on a Zwift bike. Martin Overweg. Sprint to the line. Right, let's do this. Yes! Woo! Ah!
So the winners of the 20th and final round, we have Blair Drader with Category A, Duncan Bruce for Category B, a fantastic win for Keith the Hoff Denton in Category C, winning the Duel of the Dentons right at the final shout, and Martin Overweg winning in Category D. And finally, I can reveal the WKG champions for the 2018-19 Winter Series. In Category A, we have Mr. Maxime Golev, winning an astonishing 9 of the 14 races that he took part in. Our Category B champion is Nicholas Nielsen, proving that consistency is just as powerful as race wins. He did manage 2 wins along the way, but was always near the front of the race, picking up decent points in every round. Consistency was also the key for our Category C champion, Mr. Paul Trilk. With 3 race wins and always being at the sharp end of the race, Paul was a serious contender from race 1. And finally, Category D, our champion, Mr. Martin Overweg. Martin picked up an amazing 8 wins from his 15 races and, as this film shows, was able to mix it with some seriously strong C-Cat riders along the way. So, my huge congratulations to our champions. Each one of you is incredibly deserving of your crown and you should be extremely proud of yourselves. And that just leaves me to say thank you. Thank you so much to every single one of you that took part. I'd like to list you all individually, but if I'm perfectly honest, I'm cutting this very fine with the time and date of the premiere, and I'm not sure I'm going to get this uploaded in time given my prehistoric broadband speed. So I'm going to bundle you all into one pot and just say thank you, thank you, thank you. This league is nothing without you guys. I will make a couple of special mentions. Firstly, Keith the Hoff Denton. Since the birth of the WKG League, Keith has been ever present in every single race of every single league. There's no other rider that can claim that, including myself. So Keith, thank you very much for your support and loyalty to the team. Next, I'd like to thank the incredible WKG results team. Jamie Woodward, John Bythway, Percy Santamaria and Peter Robinson. At the point you guys stepped in, I was close to throwing in the towel. The organisation of doing the results, making the vlogs and keeping the league on track was proving to be far too much for me. And had you guys not stepped in when you did, who knows where this league would have gone. So thank you so much for your efforts. You guys are absolute legends. Finally, we come to Mr. Darren Hunter. About midway through the season, I think Darren sensed that I was struggling a bit just to keep on top of things, and without even being asked, he started producing some of the most hilarious and creative flyers to promote the WKG races. Darren was also the first to answer any questions, keeping everyone informed of what was going on with the league even in my absence. Darren, thank you so much, my friend. I couldn't have done this without you. And that's that. Another season done, and I can honestly say I've had such an amazing time. Who would have thought it'd be so much fun trying to kill each other on a weekly basis? But the pre-race, post-race and mid-race banter makes it all worthwhile. You guys are absolutely fantastic and I already can't wait to do it all over again.